Kyrgios has enjoyed some marquee results in Madrid over the last couple of seasons. He scored an epic win over Roger Federer in the second round 2 seasons ago, while he defeated Sten Wawrinka en route the quarterfinals last year. With his big serve and booming ground strokes, Kyrgios naturally does well on hard courts, but he has also churned out some decent results on clay in this early stage of his career. The Australian has taken a particular liking to Estoril, where he was runner-up in 2015 and reached the semi-finals last year. Unfortunately, he could not take his place in this year's field because he had to attend his grandfather's funeral. Indeed, the Madrid Open is Kyrgios' first tournament on clay this season, having also pulled out of the Monte Carlo Masters to rest and recover from a busy hard-court season. The highlight of that hard-court season was arguably scoring consecutive victories over Novak Djokovic, whom he served out of the park in the quarterfinals in Acapulco, and did a virtual playback in their fourth-round meeting at Indian Wells. The year had not got off to the best of starts for the controversial Australian. He went into his home Grand Slam under an injury cloud, but a dodgy knee could hardly be blamed for a typically dramatic collapse in his Australian Open second-round clash against Andreas Seppi. Kyrgios was cruising with a 2-sets-to-love lead, but almost unprovoked, he suddenly slipped into one of those meltdowns and ultimately fell in 5 sets. A timely getaway with the Australian Davis Cup team did him a world of good, and he returned to the tour focused. Kyrgios reached 3 semi-finals in his next 4 tournaments in Marseille, Acapulco and Miami, and the only exception was at Indian Wells where he pulled out of an eagerly anticipated quarterfinal against Roger Federer because of food poisoning. Kyrgios eventually got his shot at Federer a fortnight later in the Miami semi-final, and the two men did not disappoint, serving up one of the best matches of the season. Just like their first ever meeting in Madrid 2 years earlier, this one was settled via 3 tie breaks, only that this time, Federer edged it 2-1. After missing Monte Carlo and Estoril, Kyrgios eventually made his 2017 clay court debut against Marcos Baghdatis in Madrid, and it was predictably another strong serving display from the Australian. He did not give up the break point throughout the contest, taking the first set on a tie break, and converting the only break point of the match late in the second set to take the 7-6, 6-4 victory after an hour and 18 minutes. Next on the agenda is American Ryan Harrison, who took out Kyrgios' compatriot Bernard Tomic in his own opening match. Harrison has had a topsy-turvy season. After failing to qualify for Brisbane at the start of the year, the American reached the second round in Auckland, the same stage he got to at the Australian Open. A drop down to the Challenger Tour briefly worked wonders, as he won the Challenger title in Dallas, and followed it up with his first ATP title in Memphis.